Hello friends, and welcome to the next video. In this video I want to talk about the formula for improving your hand technique. Now it's more of a concept than any exercise, but I'm going to give you some tips on how you can help make this concept a little stronger in your mind and in your playing. So first of all, I want to thank you all again. So many great drummers here watching the channel. I am honored and very happy that you guys are enjoying this material. And it's a bloody hot day in Bali. So you always see me wearing these tank tops because, man, it is hot wherever I am. It is so hot. And you just can't deal with long sleeve shirts. I don't know how locals do it. They wear like jackets and long sleeves and long pants. They don't sweat. I don't get it, but man, I'm sweating like a dog. So that's the reason. Anyway, thank you for all the super thanks, and thank you for joining the lesson site. The lesson site is cranking. We've got new members all the time from the United States especially. I'm very happy to have you guys there. So the formula. There's this episode on Star Trek, the original series, where the crew goes to this planet to rescue a doctor that has been missing for years, and he has invented some new way of cybernetic beings, right? So there's this one robot, whatever, android, and he was made by the originators, the people who originally lived on this planet, right? And he was a really old, I don't know, thousands of years old robot, right? He couldn't remember the formula of living or the formula for life or whatever that the originators gave him. And suddenly he has this epiphany. And he's like, that's it, that's the formula. And he rants all this formula off, right? That's how I felt when I first heard about this. When Freddie Gruber and other drummers used to tell me, you know, there's this ball of energy right here that you have to be aware of in order to facilitate your playing on the drums, okay? And at first I thought it was a bunch of hooey, right? Oh, what are they talking about, blah, blah, blah. I was just a kid. It was like 17, 18, whatever. But after a while, I noticed more and more great hand technique guys talking about this, and I started to change my playing. So what is the formula? The formula: gravity, weight of the stick, response of the stick off the surface, and downward pressure. Now, those four elements are like the main elements, okay? That once you tap into that, your playing changes because your mind changes, right? It's not all about effort. Effort. I'm going to practice 10 hours a day and be the fastest drummer in the world, right? No. It's almost like the more effort you make on a physical level, the less results you get. That's also an Asian philosophy, right? To understand things on a deep level helps you effortlessly master something. And that's probably in that book by Kenny Warner, I think, Effortless Mastery. Understanding these four elements that come into play is super, super important, okay? So, gravity, we all know what that is. The weight of the stick is, increases the effect of gravity. The effect that happens when the stick strikes the surface, that's another thing you have to control. And then downward pressure. Downward pressure is something that hardly ever gets talked about, if ever. And I don't understand, So there's a simple experiment you can do. Just that. If you take a buzz roll, like I said in another video, is a series, like a multitude of strokes that you simply overlap. And you see, it's a very slow, it's not like that. It's not the chicken scratch roll. It's just that you're applying the correct amount of downward pressure to create the buzz over, you know, a period of 5, 3, 4, 5 notes, whatever. It depends on how much control you have over it, right? The weight of the sticks influence and the gravity and the surface influence, okay? So it's really hard to do a buzz roll, perhaps, on a really loosely tuned floor tom. So that's your proof. Okay, further proving this theory. The types of bead you have on your sticks also influence. How do you know? Because let's take these mallets, for example. Right? It feels a heck of a lot different. Now, one of the choice selections for sticks that I have is forward weight. Weight on the playing end. Why? Because that's going to increase your ability to rebound, to use this energy. Now, this is an extreme example, but if you take some mallets, you're going to feel that right away. You're going to feel the big difference, you know. And these are playing more into gravity, and the response, of course, off the head of the pad or whatever is completely different. And so your technique has to be different. You can still get speed and you can still do it, but you need to change your technique. Then another stick I have is the 8A. This is the 9A, by the way. The 9A, Innovative Percussion, shout out. That's my stick company. I use the 9A, okay? It's a little heavier than the 8A. Lengthwise, it's the same, basically. Length will also, by the way, length of the stick will also influence your this energy here, right? So this stick is a little lighter. I use it for jazz or, you know, Afro-Cuban or funk. You know, not so much for funk. I use the 9As, rock 9As. A little heavier playing using 9A. So that's why you hear many players saying, I need a heavier stick so I can play louder. But why is that? It's because you're using the weight of the stick to help you get volume, okay? The trick is to not let the weight of the stick bog you down in speed and subtlety, right? So talking about beads, okay, we have a timbal stick. Also, of course, Innovative Percussion. Timbal sticks have a completely different feel because there's no bead, okay? It's almost like I have to make a little more effort to get the response that I want. But with a little practice, you know, you can make up for not having a bead, and the sound is amazing on the bells, you know, it's just a different sound. Now, the other extreme is, of course, brushes. Brushes further prove this theory because you have even less rebound from the neck and the tip of a stick. You really have to, you know, use a little more wrists to get things out. But there are ways, workarounds, of course, the rim rolls and things like that, butterfly stroke. There's many things that brushes can do that sticks can't do, obviously. So every, let's say, tool for your instrument has its advantages and uses, okay? So now, how do you tap into this field, this ball of energy? The rebound stroke is, of course, one of the best ways. The best way. We talked about it in another video, all these exercises, the rebound stroke series, to help you get in touch. So I suggest, you know, go back and watching all that stuff because that's how you want to get this feel this ball of energy working for you, okay? Without it, it's just like you're talking to yourself. You're playing, 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 but the drum is just sitting there going, okay? When you use this, the drum is talking with you. It's helping you, okay? That's a whole different way of playing. Okay, so if you want to know more about this, I highly suggest you join the lesson site. I'm also doing hand consultations online, $100 for an hour, okay, on Skype or WhatsApp or whatever you want. And I highly suggest, you take positive action for yourself and do something with your time and money that's going to be beneficial for your playing. Now, I see a lot of guys, say, well, I don't have money to take lessons or whatever, but they'll go out on the weekend and blow $70 on beer or whatever. So I don't have any mercy on stuff like that. I don't feel bad because I know what's going on. When I was a kid, I had to, save my money and take lessons. I mean, that's what we all do. We have to invest in ourselves. It's the best investment there is. Now, when you study this type of stuff, you have to ask yourself, why is there a 2-year waiting list to study with Murray Spivak? Why was Freddie Gruber and why was Richard Wilson, why were those guys the most sought after hand technique guys in the world? I mean, for Murray, you'd get on the list if there was guys living in France, for example, where Murray would call them one day, or a spot would open up, one student finishes, he'd call them, and they would move from France to the States to study with Murray. Okay, that's how intense this is, and that's how valued this information is. If Murray was alive today, he would probably be doing the same thing, teaching out of his little studio. I mean, he truly enjoyed it, but what I got from him during the time I was there was invaluable. So again, this ball of energy is a concept that would be very valuable to start thinking about. Remember the reason and the proof, okay? All the things that you use, the tools you use, require a slightly different adjustment on your technique because this ball of energy is at work, whether you like it or not, whether you're aware of it or not, okay? It's there and it's influencing your playing. The more you're aware of it, the better off you'll be. Okay, I am boiling hot. It's so hot out here. As you know, that's my warm-up routine. You know the reasons why from the last video, and I hope you guys are all well, healthy, and playing, enjoying your life playing drums. Drums, the greatest gift for people that get the calling. Okay? Thanks for watching. Peace out.